All right, I think we are live. Let me get a mic check real quick. Let me make sure that lighting is correct and the audio. So, give me a second here. Here we go. I have to switch over to another screen for that. Make sure that the USB microphone is on. But while we wait, appreciate you guys for showing up tonight. This is our weekly live stream where we talk here in the channel, talk a little stick shift, fox body shit with our fox body friends. You know what I mean? So big shout to my sponsors in the background: McLeod, Tremec, Stiflers, Team Z, Viking, Handler Motorsports, just to name a few. Appreciate you guys. Been working all day here in the shop, so a little bit tired going on here. All right. So, what's up, Mark Turner? It's good to see you. What's up, Encore? Good to see you, Josh. But yeah, we had a pretty good weekend this past week. You guys seen the video? Yeah. We're going to be talking about some of my track times, some of my better track times, plus the the 363 that just went in. This past Wednesday was the first time that we actually had our 363 on like a front half, semi-prepped. Even though it was a street night, there really wasn't any prep, but the track was there, so it was pretty good. But regardless, we had a good time last Wednesday. Things didn't end up, we were hoping to kind of maybe sneak into the 890s at that point. We figured the car had it in it, but it did not happen. So on to our next issue at hand. We decided to go ahead and switch some things up this week. So anyway, what's up, Ford 89820, Rich, Troy Prescott? Big shout out to my guys in green. Those are my channel members. Appreciate the channel members. If you guys want to check that out, it's the join button below. You can join up. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Fox 408? Hey, Neo, got the banner. Thanks, man. That's cool, man. That's cool. So we're going to talk today about the 363 versus 408 track times and what to expect and expectations. Like I said, today we've been sitting here in the shop doing a little bit of fabrication on the. We actually went to a larger turbo, and Dave, the guy I tune with, he just basically told me, for years he's been like, "You just out of turbo, and I'm just like, "There's no reason why this 7675 can't run 8s," but apparently that just didn't happen last week. So it is what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. How's the white car doing? Well, I mean, you see back there, we got some stuff hanging off the side of it right now, but we're always wrenching here in the garage, try to motivate you guys to do the same. Get your shit off the jack stands. You know how we do it here. So, but we're going to be doing some, if you guys got a question, got some small block Ford tech, some stuff you guys want to talk about, no problem. You can just go ahead and put that in the chat or whatever. But did you put on a pot of coffee so bright and early? Nah. Yeah. Anyways, trying to remember where I put this at. So let's just get right into it. Just ran an 843 to 156 with a stock block and an F1. 843 to 156. It's about 10 mile an hour off. You mean 943? Troy Prescott, did you run into back pressure issues with your small exhaust housing? Yeah, so I wanted to mention that the 7675, we weren't running the 96 housing. We were actually running the and you can see it right here in the box. That's the one I just took off. And the one below it is the one that we got extra for what we had rebuilt. So I have like twin 7675 ball bearing turbos that I'm probably not even going to use next year, but it is what it is. But anyways, AGP made me a turbo. Well, they actually make an exhaust housing that's quite a bit larger than the one that's actually offered from Precision. It's a 1.27 open, so it did help alleviate some of the back pressures, but that's definitely one of my issues. My car's doing great 8th miles. It could go into the 570s at 121, 122. Definitely has the ability to run a really good 8th mile time, but the turbo's tongue's hanging out after about 750, 800 feet, and that's what we're trying to alleviate this week. So I couldn't really put that turbo on some of my other kits because it was a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger. It was a mid frame, but we ended up putting a T4 flange on it, and we decided to put it on this kit, and we're going to try it this week, Wednesday night, as this is the last test and tune street night. So, I mean, what the hell? It's end of the season. Full send it, right? We'll figure it out. So I will bring up the, I don't know why this is running a little bit, like the quality is kind of, I don't know. I'm looking on the other screen. I have a stock 87 LX 505 speed, less than 90,000 miles. Should I build the original motor or just put another one in it? Yeah, I would. I mean, if the original motor needs to be rebuilt, Jesse, I would just go ahead and rebuild it. I mean, 90,000 miles is cool, but I mean, it's not that low of mileage. You know what I mean? It's kind of medium mileage. Luis, I have a project, foxbody 331 dart car. I'm going for 1,000 wheel. Trans question, stock T56 faceplated or G-force gears faceplated? If you're going to hit like 1,000 horsepower, I mean, it depends on the weight of the car. You'll be fine in either one. You could go with Liberty faceplated or G-force faceplated. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, if you want the longevity, most likely you're going to probably want to step into the G-force gear set because, you know, 1,000 wheels a lot. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to twin it or put a big turbo on it to help, you know, to help spool it or whatever. So 331 will definitely make some good power. I know my buddy Mike Niehaus does that. Are you doing a giveaway on a banner today? Most likely. What's up, Kent? Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. So here is last week's. Where we at? We probably should end up showing this a little bit later as well. This was the first run. But definitely, if you compare this, I'll compare this later. The 363 definitely leaves a lot harder than the 408 does. And I definitely have to reset my anti-roll bar as well. You can see here, right there in that frame tells me, you can see the car's a little bit crooked. Definitely got to put another half a turn or so into my anti-roll bar. So it just hits so damn hard. And it runs a really good 1/8 mile. Dragging that right tire. This end I can come through in third gear. But right around about here is where my turbo, that got a lot of back pressure starting. So that is definitely not what we want. So, yeah. And I wanted to show you guys this one too. And this is what we were talking about, you know, here tonight is like the 408 versus the 363. I mean, because I had them both in the car this year. I haven't had a whole lot of time, like I said, on the 363 just yet. And this past Wednesday was the first time that we've actually been down track. You know what I mean? So where is the 363 definitely 1/8 miles a lot harder than the 408 does. So this is a 408 down earlier in the year. You can tell the difference when they leave. How much different, how much harder they leave. See that? Now if you add this to the stage. You can definitely tell that. So that's basically what I wanted to show you guys tonight was like, you know, the 363 definitely 8 miles a lot smoother and a lot higher than the 408 does. But the 408 definitely back halves quite a bit better. I mean, I think it's maybe because of the back pressure is not as much. What do you mean another turn in the ARB? I have an anti-roll bar in the back. That the anti-roll bar on the axle basically keeps the car straight. You see what I mean? So you can preload it So you leave your driver's side kind of like neutral, and you can set your preload on the right side. And last week I only had about a half a turn in it. You can tell that it's bearing the right tire, so I'm gonna have to put another half a turn into it. Usually full turns, rule of thumb, it keeps the car from burying like it did. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. So, what is anyone's thoughts on a Typhoon intake? Isn't that like just the cheap version of the Edelbrock one? So, what else we got here? What up? What up, Alex? Good to see you. Jim or Willie, Lamar. Good to see you, my brother. We actually took a shot. Took a little bit of film over at the machine shop where we dropped off the 408 or whatever. Kyle Dennis in the house. What's going on, brother? R387 lives again, getting the car ready for the Dragway 42 this Saturday. So we're going to Quaker on Wednesday, like I had mentioned earlier on Facebook. That'll be pretty cool. What motor is that in the back? That is the 387. What's up, my Ohio brother? I appreciate you, Gabe. Good to see you. Big Gabe in the house. So, yeah, I'm just, this whole day we spent trying to get this 87, 82 turbo. We got a turbo from AGP, and we figured with this turbo kit, we could probably go a little bit faster. Being it's a stick shift car, it's a little bit different. Trying to get into the 890s, been trying to do 890s for a while. The goal next year with the coupe is to run 850s with either twins or, possibly one big turbo. I don't know. But we'll see how well it runs this week with the 87, 82. Yes, we will. Typhoon is a shorter runner intake, can be ported for good flow, but it's not a street intake with short runners. True. Neo, this is Edgar. Do you have adjustable front struts? Yes. So we run Viking. We run Viking, the J303s, the SN95 struts, and we run the we have it to set, to travel to extension or whatever, so it'll work out pretty well. That's we in the back we have double adjustable. I'm trying to think of the valving that we have in the back. It's like a B303. It's pretty cool. Jeff, what's going on, Miguel? Good to see you, brother. What do you run for a rear gear? 355s. How much power will a 340 pump support on stock lines and stock rails? Probably right around about, you had a 255 intake in a Vortec inline and ran out at 5,200. I would have to probably say around about 500. It depends on what you plan on running with the 302. So I'd probably say about 500 wheel is 340 will support 525 or whatever. What are you sipping on? It's just water. Just one of my many different drinks or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever you call these things. Tumblers. Yep. Just pulled a 94 HO out of my parts car this morning, thinking about doing a 331 for the good old bracket car. Was curious on opinion on building stock blocks versus NA applications. What do you mean? So putting a 331. So you're talking about building a 331 versus a stock block, or using a 331 as a stock block? Is that what you mean? What's up, Justin 91LX? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. How's everything going with your coupe build, brother? Do you think a 7-quart Canton oil pan is worth 200? It depends on if it leaks. Like what I've had an issue with all of them, with whether it be Moroso or Canton, it doesn't really matter. They end up cracking at like the welds and end up like leaking all over the place. If so, the left front about 2 clicks, in the rear shock maybe 2 click. Oh yeah. We're always messing with that. So do you mean Russian water? No. It's not anything alcoholic. Your opinion on an E303 cam and a Trick Flow Stage 2 cam? Trick Flow is a little bit, it depends on what you want to do with it. Like if you're doing like a GT40 stock bottom end or some sort of stock bottom end like build, E303 cam is plenty of cam. Trick Flow Stage 2 is a little bit more cam, so you got to watch for your valve spring. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you have enough valve spring, enough cylinder head or whatever. Did I throw that chute yet? No. I'm probably going to throw it on Wednesday. I'm going to hook it up on Wednesday when we have the big turbo on, see what happens. I mean, we're just shaking it down, see how fast we can go with it. Mustang Joe, 2 completely different camshafts. I mean, it really is. Trick Flow Stage 2 is just quite a bit more lift than the E303 cam. But yeah. Shit's fun as hell until you got to pack it. Right. Well, we got the MAF Racing chute launcher. So like it's completely different than like a regular, like a parachute. I guess you still kind of fold it up the same way, but like I have like this special tool. I'm going to be doing a video on the like it's got its own spring inside the chute launcher, so it doesn't like you don't have to pack the chute and then try to push the spring in and try to get the ripcord I guess to kind of go through all the eyelets or whatever. So it's a little bit easier because then you can kind of set the spring down. You can put the pin in for the safety. That way the spring's not a problem anymore. And then you can pack the chute and just you don't have to have 2 people doing it for the most part. But anyway, so not going to be on too long tonight. I just wanted to make sure that we got a live stream in tonight. They wanted to talk again. Like I said, being that the 363, this was our first pass this past week, on that motor on like a front half without any weight in it. It gives us some data, we're going to end up putting that motor in a coupe anyways. So it's not that big of a deal. We just wanted to see what we could do towards the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jesse Costa? It's good to see you, brother. So is Fox Days of Christmas the same as last year, or is it going to be different? Okay, so for those of you guys don't know, Fox Days of Christmas is something where we, kind of got with some of the sponsors here on the channel with Handler Motorsports and with Ram and Team Z and as many people that collaborate here with the channel. We try to give away something, try to give back to the community and stuff. So we will be doing a Fox Days of Christmas. Last year we gave away like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff. This year we're going to go ahead and we're going to probably tame that down a little bit because the shipping bill on that was quite a bit. It was pretty insane. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of focus more on some stuff that maybe we're going to talk about it on the channel and see what you guys think, and then I'm going to get some ideas of some items that we might be interested in giving away. So Neo, my 302 and C4 is swapped over, and I'm just a few things away from the first ride. Nice, man. Nice. Does anyone have a set of stock forged pistons they want to sell? What's Andrew out? What's up, Hanlon Motorsports? It's good to see you, brother. Neo, do you have a Mustang you just cruise around in? Yeah, the black car. We decided to put the 387 in the black car so we can kind of learn a little bit of like the Holly Terminator, you know, the software and stuff. We're going to put the Holly Terminator, I think, in the black car, and just kind of, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of footage with, you know, the 387 and trying to, you know, we're not really going to push it. We just want to see how well it runs naturally aspirated, and then how well it runs with like a boost and stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. What's up, Anthony? 400 is still in stock block territory as long as you keep the backup block just in case. You can't touch the value compared to. That's right. When running solid engine mounts, do you want a solid trans mount? No, you never want to put a solid trans mount with a set of solid roller mounts, or excuse me, yeah, solid roller, a solid motor mounts. So you got to have some sort of flex with it, because it's still going to flex a lot. And I probably never would run a solid trans mount ever. I have a chance to grab a 93 LX convertible. It looks mint. Anything that I should look out for regardless of the top? Probably, yeah, the top and the latch. You know, you got to make sure there's no gap on the, you make sure the top doesn't leak. I mean, the quarter windows like to rattle around. There's a lot of things that you need to look for in a convertible. Best thing you can do is subframe that thing. I mean, when you cage and subframe a convertible, you strengthen the body up quite a bit. But I'm telling you what, the convertible is definitely, especially, you know, 35 years later, it's definitely something that, you know, you check the frame out. You know what I mean? Check the subframe out. Check the top. Make sure it's aligned right. You know what I mean? So I heard bolt. That's why I asked. Okay. Run a rubber mount if you can first, or poly, no solid. That's right. I know you would not back down from a race. Who used to talk about? I bet you race people in the black car to when they want to. No, we don't race the black car much anymore. All right. So I do want to show you last week's race. It was pretty dope. My man Dan Watts ended up running 890s twice. So I don't know if you guys seen that on the last video. It was pretty dope. See if I can bring it up. So this is the world's fastest IRS blower stick shift car. As you guys see here on the channel, Dan Watts Racing, if you want to go check out his channel. Anyways, this is a synchronized stick shift out of the box. It's a diaphragm clutch. Super proud of him, man. He's a lot of effort went into getting this car this fast. Yeah. It was a pretty good pass. That's nice. So big shout out to him as well for hitting that accomplishment last Wednesday. Did a great job, man. Did a great job. Yeah, it definitely was hauling some ass right there for sure. Anyway. So what we have coming up this week, we have we're finally getting our push rods. I don't know why it took forever to get them, but we're finally getting our push rods for our 387 back here for our black car. It'll be pretty badass. And we'll be able to start putting that top end together with the lower intake. So, yeah. Once we have the motor, like complete and finished, then we're going to go ahead and drop it down in the black car and get the driveline put back in it. Cause I mean, we got a whole box of shit over here behind the white car with the black car, with like the transmission and exhaust and pieces and stuff like that. So we're going to run somebody had suggested it and it was pretty smart. We're going to run some shorty headers on the 387 with like just down pipes. So I'm not going to run a full exhaust just so we can get maybe a naturally aspirated. I know you guys are really curious to see what that thing makes like naturally aspirated. So we're kind of hoping to see maybe 400, 380, 400 on a Mustang dyno to the wheels. And then maybe we'll, after we break it in, change the oil, we'll bring it back here to shop and start putting our other turbo kit on it. Sorry for the excitement. No, man, no way, dude. That was awesome. What does your tuner charge for pulls? I think it's, what is it, $100 for 3 pulls? Something like that, 125. Putting my 363 together this week, you've continued to show I made a good choice. You're 100% right. I love my 408. I love my 9.5 deck, 351 Windsor stuff, but the 363 is where it's at as well, too. So, I mean, it's a great 8.2 deck motor. It's just big bore 347. Love it. How much power can a B50 Sportsman block handle? That's not really a block that I've actually messed with too much. It's actually, isn't that still like a production, but like an aftermarket production block? Is that right? I never really messed with that block. I'm not going to lie to you. Going to do a 10-point soon. Grew out of my 6-point. Want to be able to run you guys NMRA next year. Hell yeah, dude. So we plan on, with the coupe, we plan on hitting, the white car will probably end up being down at NMRA in Florida. Like if we make that trip, I don't think I'll have the coupe ready. I'm not going to drive all the way to Florida in February just to find out that, without having any sort of shakedown time in my coupe when I start getting it finished. So we do plan on going twin turbo with the 363 in the coupe. We still might just stay with the one big turbo. I don't know. We're not real sure. I mean, the main thing I want to do with the coupe is make it light and make it serviceable like we did with the white car here. So we'll have 2 cars that we could race stick shift stuff and have a good time and be efficient with it, but it'll be fun. Either way we look at it, most likely the white car will be at NMRA, and then we'll start bringing the coupe out to like the other 2 NMRAs and street car takeover, possibly FL2K, Ford takeover and such. So what's the fastest you've gone in the white car? We went 155, had to lift on it, like 901 and stick shift. What did he say? I am considering running either Flowmaster 40 or Pipes Race Pro mufflers with my 94. That'll sound pretty good. Hey, nothing sounds better than old school Flowmaster, boy. Hell yeah. I saw them on your website and I thought I add them to the list. What do you say? No rings right now, just the housing and the shield plate. Okay. What about a 331? 331's a badass motor, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Mike Mihas proven that. If you guys don't know who Mike Mihas is, he's a stick shift monster. 850 mid-5 car, 850 car all day long and twice on Sundays. I built a 331 blown and it put 485 wheel tuner was conservative. Sounds about right. Went to Ohio this weekend with my car to McBride Racing. Thanks, Dan, for referring me to Steve McBride. Can't wait to see how he can straighten it out. That's right, man. That's good. That's awesome, Tom. Hey, man, that's what it's all about, man. Collaboration happens at the top. Bickering and bullshit happens at the bottom. You know what I mean? People can argue and be mad at each other and talk a bunch of shit or whatever. But, I'm always, trying to bring people up, trying to, help people out and, whether it be, car related or, just to try to motivate people. And, and the same thing goes with businesses is what I'm trying to say is, always trying to promote people, try to promote business and stuff like that. So McBride did a really good job with my SSP. So there's no reason why he wouldn't, do well with anybody else's car. You know what I mean? So Foxbody John, TR 50 or 3550 with 355 gears on a Turbo Fox. What will be the max mile an hour, 6,000 RPM in fourth gear? Oof. My goal is 140 in fourth gear is what's the best gear. So a 3550 is a 327 first. Turbo Fox max mile an hour at 6,000. Oh, you're probably a 130, 138, 140. You should be right around about there. Flywheel recommendation for a 93 stock bottom end 302 V1 10 pounds. TKX and a Ram HDX clutch. I would probably go. Well, you know, the Ram billet is fine. The McLeod billet is fine. I've had no issue with those at well over 1,000 flywheel. You know, it's not a big deal. Those are, you know, don't run in aluminum. Nothing wrong with aluminum. It's just, you know, I'm a big, you know, billet steel for sure. Will you go sequential in your White Beast? No. My car will always be H pattern clutch assisted. I actually use the clutch in every gear. There's no problem with that. Being it's face plated, it's going to go in gear anyways, but I still use it. I still use the clutch. That's why I had my faceplate for so many years. It needed refresh this past year, but you know, it wasn't too bad. Neo, who is the one YouTube person you would like to race? Who is the one YouTube person you would like to race? There's nobody on YouTube I'd like to race. Racing is racing. You know, I go to no preps every weekend. We go to, you know, we test and tune every weekend. We promote that. There's nobody particular individual that I would, you know, want to race. They show up in the lanes on chip draw because I drew them. That's the person then. What's up, Roy? Good to see you, brother. 347 or 363, High Porter, Victor Glidden heads. Definitely 363 if it's in the budget. 347 can be achieved with a stock bottom end. Excuse me. A 347 can be achieved with a stock block, but a 363 has to be an aftermarket. So I would definitely go with 363 with high ports. That's what we're actually going to be putting on the car this year. So what's up, Daniel Robinson? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Guys, make sure you come into the channel. Give me a big thumbs up. If you're watching this afterwards, you know, leave me a comment below. You guys, check out that join button for membership. Members get exclusive content to the channel. Appreciate you guys. For the guys in green right here, right now. I'd love to see you and Tony race. Two legends banging gears side by side. That would be epic no matter who won. Yeah, Tony's a good friend of mine. If that was in the cards where we had to race each other at an event, that would be pretty epic. That would be awesome. Higher horsepower guys have not had great successes with aluminum flywheels. Nope. Billet is strong, but it's stock block power. That's right. But yeah, there'll be a lot of, listen, stick shift racing is about to change, man. Shit's about to get faster. You know, before, I don't know. There's just a lot of talk of people changing their complete combos next year, including myself. I mean, I'm bringing a whole nother car out, but you know, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've always been wanting to build a coupe SSP car. And to be honest with you, it's just, you know, it's that time. It's in the cards. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know how many, I don't think I've ever seen an SSP race car like actually painted black with like a cream top, like the Florida Highway Patrols or whatever. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but they're not very common at all. And this SSP, and there's a reason why it went to McBride Racing. This SSP that I have is just absolutely destroyed. So, you know, it was bent and wrecked and just needed a lot of attention, even though it wasn't rotted or whatever, but it needed straightened. And, you know, thankfully, you know, Steve Jr. over there at McBride Racing was able to get that car nice and straight for the most part. I mean, they did say it was pretty jacked up, but thankfully they got it fixed up. Damn, bro, that's a hefty turbo sitting back there. Actually, the turbo is already in the car. We already have the AGP. So I want to give a big shout out to AGP Turbo. Guys, Ben over at AGP Turbo, got a lot of followers on Facebook, 35,000 plus, great company. He actually sent me a turbo to try. He actually built me a turbo specifically for what we're trying to do here on the channel. And yeah, he knows that I don't use a lot of two-step. We're running a twin scroll, versus an open. It's going to be different. It's going to spool quick. I think it's going to make some good power. I don't know if it's going to be the ticket or not, but we're going to give it a try. We've been talking about it for a year. You've been talking about it all year. And sometimes you just, when you get your shit together, sometimes you just, it's not exactly the most efficient thing in the world, but at least it's running and together. So, I enjoy the fact that we've done pretty well with the white car. And now it's kind of towards the end of the year. We want to go around and find out and see if the 363 actually will go faster than the 408. McBride told us your SSP in class. Hope to see that thing fly. Hope told us about your SSP in class. Okay, cool, man. Super Trooper SS old school. That's right. I mean, it's gonna be like 2,400 pounds, Gabe. It's just what it is. Dry or wet kit for foxbody 5-speed car? It's always a debate. Your opinion? Wet kit. Dry kit up to 100. Wet kit, anything past that. You just got to compensate more fuel. I mean, there's just too much gas at that point. You know what I mean? 75 shot, 100 shot, dry kit would be good. What's your thoughts on the big block Fords? Family friend is trying to convince me to go build a big block Ford, but I can't decide. I have another Roller 351. I mean, they're heavy, but they're strong. If you can build a 408 or a 427 with small block Ford, I mean, that's going to make just as much power or make power enough for your 460 versus like a 460, if that's what you mean. But definitely, 460s are a little bit heavier, but they, if you stroke them out, you can compensate the head, the weight with it, with the shock settings and stuff. But I don't know. I've never had a big block in one of my Fox bodies, so that's kind of a tough question. But, we have watched, the sheriff here on the channel run deep 10s with a naturally aspirated, mildly built 460. So it is what it is. What cam you recommend for a stock 96 351 F150? Okay, so the 96 is a roller, and the roller came with a 422 448 Explorer cam. So if I was, you could literally treat the roller, the 94 to 97 351 motors, the roller motors, you literally treat them like you would a 302 for that matter, because they're all like pretty much, it's just a 9.5 deck versus 8.2 deck at that point. They got the roller cams in them, whatever. But I'm pretty sure they have hyper eutectic pistons too. So it's kind of like the 351's 94, 95, 6, and 7, or like just the modified version of a 302, 93 and up, where they had like the same pistons, like materials are not cast anymore. I think they're a hyper eutectic aluminum, which makes them, a little more rigid for boosting. But probably would just run like a Trick Flow Stage 1 N41 cam, Anderson cam. Go check out Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsport. Definitely a good camshaft. I mean, the chop on a N41 is just sounds amazing. Delicious. Trying to catch up in chat here. This chat is lagging, but I'm on the other screen. It's showing. What up, Mark? Good to see you, bro. Danko's Racing. What's up, everybody? First time of the year, plan upgrades are positive to do. It's the time of the year to plan up what upgrades are positive to do. That's right. SPF Nation, do you think a 67 millimeter turbo is too small for a 347? Yes. Yes, absolutely. The smallest I would put on a 347 is a 76. You could get away with a 72. You could even put a 70 on there, but you're going to get a lot of, I mean, you're going to, that tongue, the tongue of that turbo is going to be hanging out at like 5,200 RPM. So 347 moves some air, and definitely 76 would probably be the one you want to go with. 72, 76, one of those two. My brother has a big block Ford in his Fox with a good bit of nitrous, and it runs pretty solid, but it's still big. It's still good. Yeah, you have to pretty much build the car around it. Hard work pays off. Love seeing you go faster and faster. Can't wait to see that coupe. Trying to catch up every time I get close. I appreciate that, man. We're just trying to have some fun with, stick shift shit with stick shift friends. I mean, I really this year I kind of got into the whole 8th mile thing. We haven't really been going quarter mile at all this year. This past Wednesday was probably the first time since like April, May that we've actually went quarter mile at the track. I was a little bit nervous, but I was kind of excited to find out what the 363 would do. But I mean, the car does its job. Every part in that car does its job, but the turbo is just, it's got a sweatband, its little headband. It's funny. It's just not making enough power past the 8th mile. 75 or 70 throttle body. Heard 75 makes the 5-speed cars buck a little bit. Yeah, just go with 70. There's no need for 75. I mean, 75 is 347 and up, ish, depending on the intake, and make sure that the intake matches the EGR. What do you say? Can we call in for parts from On3? Remember you saying you're a dealer. Need to upgrade turbo, fit my new 63. Just I'm a dealer, but I don't really sell per se. We do promote On3 stuff here. We've used it for years. It's just, I became a dealer years and years and years ago, so I haven't actively sold any kits or any parts. But you definitely mention me. You might get something, you might not. I don't know. What's a good street strip cam for a 408? Probably a custom camshaft. You're going to definitely want some decent cam. If you're going to do a shelf cam, there's a couple Anderson cams and a couple comp cams out there that are really nice. Yeah, you can tell it was you talking about your car with the 67, or you're talking about mine? Because mine's definitely dead up top. I mean, it's sitting, it leaves super hard. It just seems like it dies. We're at about 8th mile. I shift, and it's just, it's in motion, but it's just kind of dying. That was an 890 pass with a bigger turbo, just out of steam, just back pressure. It needs more turbo, needs more wheel. Are you going to Quaker on Wednesday this week? Yes. We plan on it. We'll see what happens. We're hoping to get this turbo. We got to get over to the dyno Tuesday night. We're hoping to get this turbo in and get it fitted up. We got a couple things we're waiting on, a couple welded things, a couple adapters to adapt my exhaust system up to the 4-inch outlet. Kind of throwing it together, but we don't want to be unsafe about it. So what's up, Jeff? Good to see you. I have got to get a 393 built for mine this year and add my cage. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that's the same problem I'm having. Like, you running a 67 or a 70 on your 347s, kind of the same thing that me running like a 76 on my 363 or 408. It's just it did its job 8th mile, and it does really well for 600 feet, 700 feet. But like when I'm trying to backdoor or mile an hour, take it out the back, it's just out of steam. It's just it's not doing anything. It's the boost is there. It's just not moving enough air to make more power, if that makes any sense. So that's why, for the years I had thought that, my 76, 75 would be fine. There would be plenty of turbo, would put a bigger housing on it, but it's just not enough. The 75 is just not enough wheel. The really cool thing about, what On3 actually sells a 78 millimeter with an 85 wheel in the back. So it's called the big wheel. So that's really kind of an odd shaped turbo. That's really cool for you guys that are kind of stuck between buying a 80 or 88 millimeter and 76 being too small. So keep that in mind. It's the only one that I've ever really seen like that, but AGP will build you whatever you want. What's up, Brad? For Rod? Good to see you. Hey, Neo. It's been a minute since yeah, man, it's good to see you, bro. I'll be there shooting for my 11-second time slip. Hope to see you there. Hell yeah, man. Well, most likely we'll be there. What's up, Super Dave? Good to see you, brother. Super Dave is one of the longer members on the channel at the highest tier. I appreciate you and everything that you do for us, Super Dave. 67 millimeter turbo is great for stock 302s. That's correct. 67 and 70 is really good for 302, 306s. I wouldn't, I would start stepping into a 72, 76 when you start getting into like, 331s and 347s and such like that, and then you go even bigger with the 363s and such. But yeah. Big blocks are tough, though. A 300 shot on a big block isn't the same as a 300 on a small block. That's right. Jesse Costa, welcome to the membership, man. I appreciate you joining up, man. Thanks so much for supporting the channel, brother. Stick shift shit with stick shift friends, bro. Mustang Joe, H410. Well, I don't know what the H is, but Flowmaster, shorties. You put shorties on a 410? Probably should run like long tubes. E-cam, custom box, aluminum intake, trick flow heads, 65 watt shot, complete. Nice. Nice. That's a decent little setup. Maybe putting some long tubes on it might open it up a little bit. All right, let me sit back a little bit here. What just happened here? 8596 VS Racing Turbo for a 11R headed 363 6-speed. That's a decent size turbo for sure. That'll work. What are you running for a tuning software? That's another thing I gotta get. I mean, we're still running on freaking stock A9L over here. I mean, I guess when it ain't broke, don't fix it. Those two boxes you see right there, those two white boxes you see on the shelf, there's actually 3 of them, but there's 2 Terminators, like 2.5 Terminators in there. And I don't know why I haven't put one on yet, but I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That's just the way it is. Whatever. But yeah. Hollywood CO2, nice. You got the expansion on it? Yep. On an NA410, I think larger throttle body would be better, but you'd need to tune it for the good street manners. Nice. That's true. You are welcome. Long overdue, buddy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jesse. I'm still running blow through carb. Ain't nothing wrong with blow through carb, bro. You could tune the shit out of a blow through carb. Is TrickFlow ever coming out with their TrickFlow boxes again? So let me explain what's going on with TrickFlow as it was explained to me. It's not the fact that they've been discontinued. It has nothing to do with that. They have plenty of uppers. They have all the uppers you want. It's just the factory that was making the lowers, they switched factories. So something happened logistically, just like everything else. And they decided to switch to a completely different tooling and factory and whatever. So that's why there's a, I guess you want to call it like a problem with the lowers. They just don't have any lowers. You know what I mean? They have lowers for some intakes, but like the box R's specifically, they probably won't have any lowers for a number of months from here on out. But they'll get caught up, I'm sure. Do you lock out your distributors? Also, who does the tuning with the SC on it? I do the tuning with Dave here on the channel. We don't lock them out. But yeah. So we're going to do a banner here in about 10 minutes, about an hour in. We've been doing banners here on the channel for those guys that are new to the channel. So we've got a couple Tremix and a couple Stifler banners, and we usually give away one every week. Just kind of a thanks to give back to the channel for, jumping in on the live stream and BSing with us, having a good time. I like to talk foxbody shit with foxbody friends. Always do. Always enjoy that stuff. Sunday's one of my favorite days, man. Get a chance to sit down and interact with the channel. So what's up, Bill? It's good to see you, man. I hope you're feeling pretty good. If you guys remember a couple months ago, I asked you guys to, keep Bill in your prayers, and it looks like most of our prayers were answered. Bill's in pretty good health, and appreciate you stopping in, Bill. Thank you so much, brother. Sean Inman, did you get my email? Yes. So the 2 banners that were given out last week, I didn't get a chance to I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't get a chance to ship them. I promise you I'll ship them tomorrow. I usually reply to the email when I do ship them, so you'll have an idea. You're pinned at the top of the emails. No worries. Got a little busy last week. We're going to be busy this week, but I'll have time to get the other 2 banners out. Matter of fact, I think Shelby Company won the other one that I have to actually get a hold of Andrew Hanlon and get. He has to do that. What's up, Fat Boy Fox? Good to see you, brother. Like, if you want a banner, guys, like, do me a favor. I don't mind if you go in more than once. I mean, it's never, there's always that, but don't spam, please. Like, when we do the banner giveaway, I try to do it every week so we can have something, give back to the channel, have a little bit of fun. But I like to be as fair as possible. No worries. I broke the TH400 I had in the car, 60 feet on it. Jeez, oh Pete, man, you have the worst luck, Dan. You guys don't know who Dan Robinson is. He's the Summit Tech that's here on the channel. So I appreciate you stopping in, Dan. Is it worth it to send a stock crank out for balancing? I'm looking to put together. So I know it's pretty difficult to get a stock crank zero balanced. So you'll have so much money in getting it zero balanced that you might as well just buy an aftermarket forged one. That's at least 28. And then, trying to get 50 ounces on a stock crank to balance out is like 3 pounds. So you're literally talking 50 ounces of Mallory, moving weight around, digging holes in the counterbalances. Definitely probably something you want to think about, Jimmer, just getting aftermarket. You know what I mean? For the amount of money you'd have in it, and the solidity of the, whatever, the strength of the actual stock crank isn't worth the money. That's why people don't really do that. You got any Neo banners? No, I need to make some. No, you're right. I need to make some. Maybe I can get Mike over at 417 Fox to make us some. That would be really cool. Trying to, it's funny. I switch over to my actual YouTube page and it shows like all the chat like working, and then I come over here to StreamYard and it's like I have to wait for it to like scroll. It's crazy. You ever think about modular swapping one of your cars, or are you strictly a pushrod guy? I definitely don't hate on modular at all. If there was a modular motor that I was going to swap to, it would obviously be a Coyote motor. But at this point, we've done so well with the 351 Windsors and what we've done with the 363. I think if we were to go into the next motor, we would probably go ahead and skip the Terminator motor and the Coyote motor as far as modular stuff is concerned, and we'd probably go right into the Godzilla. So that's something that we were very interested in doing for a while now, is putting a Godzilla in one of our cars. So if there was going to be any engine that's going to go in the coupe after the 363, maybe if we make some changes next year with the car, it's going to probably be the Godzilla. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I'm pretty sure the Godzilla is not considered a modular motor. I think that's actually still considered a pushrod, just a newer version of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I got to knock out a bunch of fat out of my car. I'm looking for a 930 quarter pass on pump gas. Hell yeah, man. And there it is. That's right. That's right. So that's probably, we have already talked about. So what Gabe say? Hold on, we'll talk about the Godzilla thing. Zero balancing will work on a stock crank. My man at Precision Machine Service has a stock crank now to see if he can be done without buying $1,000. That's right. So piston recommendations for a stock bottom end 351, Wiseco. Whatever's in the budget, Sam, to be honest with you. I mean, car parts at this point are at the, you know what's good and bad just by Googling it once, literally. So, I mean, it depends on how much of your power level you want to go. You can go with some cheap forged Speed Pros, which those aren't cheap anyways. You can go with some Wiseco, you can go with some JE, some Diamond. It just depends on how much money you want to spend on it. Stock bottom end 351 though, probably just go with something a little more in the budget range since it's a stock bottom end. I don't think you'll exceed a piston skirt or a piston land on like a forged Speed Pro. Dan Robinson, I'd like to go 0, but it's looking like 28 is my future. What's something got for? Okay, so Gabe just answered that as well. I guess there's a guy that he knows. What would it cost to build a T5 to hold 400 wheel power plus a 150, 200 shot? I would just go with a TKX. The amount of money you would have in the rebuild on a T5 would be $1,500 to $2,000. If not, buying one that's strong enough for it. And then you just TKX, you just buy once, cry once, to be honest with you, Sean. And that's the next step up. And if you've already got the Tremec bell housing and the drive shaft from a T5, if it's aluminum already, it'll fit. You just got to change the yoke. You get it. Sean, just buy a TKX. Yep. So, anyways, going back to the Godzilla, we actually already started talking about that when we were talking about the coupe. Me and Dave and Kevin over at the shop. We were talking about the 427 aluminum. We talked about building an aftermarket 9.5 deck like the 363 we have, which is an 8.2 deck. Then we got into the discussion about Godzilla, and we just at this point, Godzilla's like $8K to buy as just an engine, and there's just not enough supporting mods out there for it just yet. I mean, I know Cletus McFarlane does pretty well with his, but I mean, he also has probably an endless budget of fabrication going on. we're just a little shit shop over here in Ohio. Sean, I gave in and bought a TKX handling. Yeah, I mean, a T5 will hold 400 depending on how you drive it, but I don't know about the shot plus that. It's looking like cast it is. I'm only going for 500. I would definitely put at least Hyper Eutectic in, Jimmer. For sure. 100%. But, yeah. What's up, Nathan Tuck? It's good to see you, man. A couple weeks in a row seeing your ass here. That's awesome. Nathan Tuck, one of the oldest members on the channel. Oldest member in green. Him and Super Dave. Some of the biggest supporters of the channel, guys. I appreciate you guys. On the zero balance, I will let you guys know by next weekend. I believe my man is supposed to spin it this week to see if we can make it work. So you're going to actually try to make a stock crank, 302 crank, work zero balance. That'd definitely be cool. It'd be cool if it could happen. So this, we're going to give away a banner this week with Tom Clark. Appreciate Tom hooked me up with about 5 or 6 of these things. I was looking at intake options for a 351, and all I could find is EFI right now. For EFI right now is a Super Victor and Holley intakes. Do you know any other brands? There's just an issue right now getting any sort of intake for a 351. Like I said earlier, it's just TrickFlow would have the box R's out and everything, but they're doing a retooling right now in a different, different company change. So I'm in the middle of opening my own shop out of this way while working at Summit. All right. What's up, Tatacoon? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for the advice, guys. Weighing my options right now. It's between TKX and having my dad build a nice AOD. Stick shit, baby. Always stick shit. So this is the banner we're going to give away. We're going to give away some shot swag again tonight. Big old 6 or 7 foot, I don't know, what is it? 6 foot banner for stiflers. It's really cool. You know, big shout out to, like I said, again, Tom Clark and Brian over at Stiflers for hooking me up with a box full of, banners to give away on the channel. We also run, we run a lot of Stifler stuff as well. And Hammond's a dealer for them. So if you wanted to order some stuff like this is a Stifler's drive shaft loop. And this is like, if you guys ever put a drive shaft loop, it's kind of a pain in the ass because you got to mount it to the floor and drill holes and shit. But the nice thing about the Stifler one is it just goes in between the transmission mount and the transmission itself. So it pretty much acts as a support in case the drive shaft actually comes loose. So yeah, check out Stifler shit. This is actually the TKO TKX one. Yeah, that needs to go on the black car when we're done with the 387. We run the same crossover and loop in the white car as well as the coupe. Pretty nice pieces for sure. So big shout to Brian and big shout to Tom Clark over at Stiflers. Trying to catch up here. So when I put, what's up, Paul? It's good to see you. Paul Huggins. So honestly, we should have changed this turbo. Like I said in the title, we probably should have changed this turbo earlier in the year on the white car. Pretty excited to find out Wednesday. Go to the dyno on Tuesday night. Get out to the track on Wednesday and see if this car actually hustles down the track a little bit better. So, all right, I'll be right back, guys. Drink too much damn water. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. What is going on with the... Okay. All right. Anyone looking for a set of cast aluminum... He probably means pistons. What's up, Sean 5.0? Good to see you. All right, guys. So the 363 408... I'm not gonna lie to you. I think which one do I prefer the most? I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like the way the 363 sounds. It sounds like real raspy. It just sounds more I don't know, revs up quicker, sound has a little bit of better sound, but the 408 definitely had the torque. There was a difference between, you know, the 363 and the 408 when it was coming out of the hole. Like I said, the 408 made a little bit, you know, went a little bit faster. I haven't really turned it up to that level with the 363, so I'm pretty sure that 363 with a decent 60 foot, you know, if we add a little bit of boost to it on a better turbo, could probably, you know, outrun the 408. But that's just, you know, this is one of many different, you know, I don't want to influence you one way or the other. One block's better than the other because I'm a big fan of the 408. I'm not sure they are a dish piston. Okay. Anyone use and know any feedback on the pony down front exit headers? I do not. All right, Jimmy, I'll see you there. From watching a bunch of your videos, I just picked up a 351 myself. Is the on-3 kit for a 351 in a Fox good, or will we be able to retain AC? I'm pretty sure that you should be good to go. I'm pretty sure most of these kits at this point are, you know, it's not, you know, back in 2007, 2008, when on-3 first came out, and they were still modifying the kit. There was things you could not run, but I'm pretty sure you can run factory AC at this point. For sure. Excuse me. But yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to basically get on tonight and do our little weekly live, give away our banner, and talk a little shit with you guys. Have a little fun. It's been a long weekend. It's going to be a long week. Got one more race. Like I told you last week, the Tremec was not going to be here this week. We're still doing the stick shift point series here in Ohio. The last race that was supposed to happen this past weekend, where we were going to give it away to the winner, which Cody Hartman is he is the leader at this point, with Tyler Garlock a close second. We were going to give that transmission away last week at the race, but the race ended up getting canceled, so it got moved to November 4th. Yeah. So we're going to have that transmission in another couple weeks, and then we'll be giving it away to the winner. But what do we have for videos this week? We're going to be doing obviously there's going to be a video of me putting this turbo on. I'm going to try to sneak in a video with the 387, us putting the top end apart or together, because I think that needs to go back in the black car. As soon as I get the turbo settled in the white car here and start shaking it down a little bit, then we're going to stick the 387 in the black car. And because I mean, I got to get that car off its jack stands. That thing's sitting there with no motor and drives me nuts. So we're also going to be doing a dyno with the white car, which we'll probably do a video on, and also do a track video. So there's quite a bit of stuff that we're going to be doing this week here on the channel and on Facebook. If you guys haven't already followed me on Facebook, I've got about 8,000 followers or 7,500 or whatever. I do a lot of content on there because it's a lot easier to post than it is on YouTube. So it's just, you know, send it, put a picture up there with a little bit of caption, send it. It makes it a little bit easier. So I do update a lot more on Facebook than I do YouTube. Not that that's a good thing, but it's a little harder, like I said, to upload here. What kind of turbo and size are you going with? So we have an 8782 twin scroll 125 housing T4. It actually used to be a T6. They actually modified the turbo housing for me, but it's an 80 millimeter. We'll see how. Hopefully, there's not a lot of back pressure. Okay, so you're not dealing with a factory rod piston, so that's a good thing. Okay. IB got a Scions XB with 315,000 miles. Wanting a Scion? You're crazy, Super Dave. Water ment is great for turbo setups. That's right. I actually have a methanol kit back here in these boxes if I ever needed to use it, but I never decided to. But yeah, I just wanted to basically, you know, come in here and talk a little shit about these motors. You know, I've enjoyed them both all year long. You know, 363 is just as good, if not equal to, as the 408 was this whole year. And the 408's done really good for us here on the channel. Haven't really been exactly the most efficient setup, but it worked. 1989 Mustang, do they still make Reman 2.3s? I don't know. I don't think so. I am building my 351 Windsor on my 95 Bronco, putting a baby 72 turbo and has an E40D. I don't know how much these transmissions, any info? I know they're just an automatic overdrive. Are you going to do a price breakdown for the 387? We've actually done a whole playlist on this, Sean, to be honest with you. And outside, I mean, you're talking $300 crankshaft, you're talking stock rods, foxbody forged, the TRW forged 8792 pistons, machine work, which you would do anyway with any block that you had machined. The decking process, the cleaning, the bearing install. We did have to clearance the one, since we used factory rod bolts in the football rods with the 351s. You had to have the machine guy put the pistons on the rods, and then I had to clearance the rod right at the oil pump. I don't know. That's pretty much the only clearancing. There's a little bit of notching needed to be done on the piston skirts because the fox body pistons were a little bit longer than normal stock, the stroker pistons. So there's not a whole lot. There's more money and time invested in just the machine work of the 387 versus like actual cost of it. You know what I mean? Another thing you have to consider too is 387 is going to be pretty high compression. It's literally sitting at zero deck on the block. So it's not going to be terrible. We just did the cylinder heads we're going to use are Trickflow 170s, which will be a little bit small for that motor. But I mean, it's a budget build. It's what we had on the shelf. We ended up having really good piston to valve clearance, and we didn't have any issues with that. So we're going to be pretty excited with that. What's up, Murphy's Law? It's good to see you, buddy. So, well, I did the clearancing myself too, Kyle. I'm just telling these guys what we did at the machine shop. Like everything we did at the machine shop, I did with Dave. But yeah, you definitely got that 387 moving pretty good though, Kyle. What bearings do you use in your 351s? I was thinking of trying, the King SI series. We actually run the tri-metal stuff with the King bearings. They're supposed to be pretty good. So definitely a good piece. I hope it holds up. I'm trying to make at least 5 on a wheel, right? So let's go ahead and give away the banner. So how this works is I pick a random person in the chat, just do a hashtag sticklers, preferably U.S. shipping. Not going to ship it internationally. Sorry, guys. It cost me $38 last time I shipped it international. But U.S. domestic only, hashtag sticklers. Go ahead and send the... Go ahead and light the chat up. Just try not to spam too much, guys. Give people a chance. Plus, that doesn't give me a headache looking at this screen. I know the chat's behind about 60 seconds, so I'll give it a minute or two to light up a little bit. that should be good. Let me grab a marker. Good evening. I have a 94 Mustang GT and using trigger wheel and LS coil on plugs. Can you tell me if turbocharging would be better than a Vortex supercharger? I'm not going to act, that's kind of a loaded question. I think that, turbocharging has its place just as much as supercharging does. It just depends on how you want to build your car, to be honest with you guys. You know what I mean? I never knock anybody's build, you build the car the way you want to build it, whether it's naturally aspirated, stock, modified, big block Ford, whatever. You know what I mean? As far as which one's better, which one do I prefer? Turbocharge, obviously, but I've been supercharged before and I've had nothing but fun with it before. So I hope that helps. So Midnight Fox, would you happen to know what size push rods I need for GT40P heads with Tripflow Stage 1 cam? It would be no different than your stock ones, but you probably need to run a little bit longer if your GT40 heads were cut. So considering the fact that your stock lifters have about 125 thousandths oil clearance, what a plunger, whatever you want to call it, you could probably tighten up the push rod a little bit. Go with like a 1.30. That would be pretty good. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to do the stiflers thing now. Check to make sure there's Cousin Paul in the house. What's up, Cousin Paul? My man, Cousin Paul. All right, let me spin through here real quick. And it is Gabe Large. Congratulations, buddy. Gabe, hit me up on Facebook and or just my email. Congrats, Gabe Large. Hit me up on email so I can pin the email. I got two. I got Sean's and Shelby County to ship tomorrow, whatever. Hanlon, are you still here in the chat? If you are, I need to get that. I need to forward you that email for that Hanlon banner. So yeah, guys, we'll stick around here for another couple minutes. I always like to give away a banner to my subscribers. I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We got Fox Days of Christmas. We got got a lot of things to talk about soon. I never win anything. No, you just came up to Uncaged and took all our money. I'm just kidding. Well earned. Stick shift shit with stick shift friends, bro. Yep, email it to me. I'll get Mary to send it out. So let me just do that right now real quick. Hanlon. That's Kent's. Yeah. Forward to, I'm sorry I didn't get that sent to you before. Sorry about the caps. So it's in your email now, bud. I appreciate you hooking that up. Some guy at some guy to check O'Reilly's for point. Okay. All right, guys. So pretty much that's all I got for you this week. 363 versus 408. They both pretty much run the same amount of time. The 363 definitely spins the wheel a little bit faster than the 408. So it's kind of back pressuring. It's just not, I got this really nice turbo kit and this small turbo that's just doing everything it can to try to keep up. So hence why we put a bigger turbo on this week. We've been meaning to do this for like a year. That's why it's in the title. This should have been done already. I've been told for the longest time that, you know, you've been out of turbo, Dan. You'll make more power, or you'll go faster, whatever. You know, if I want to run the quarter mile, bigger turbo is where it's at. If I want to run the 1/8 mile, I think the smaller turbo is just as good, or at least for that car combo. I don't know. We only got a couple of races left in the season. Got a test and tune this Wednesday at Quaker. Hopefully I can get there. Nothing happens with the car. We're going to get it on the dyno. We're going to get the last couple things hooked up, as I've already shot some of the video for it. And yeah, we're going to get it, you know, do our first drive in it and try to get it over to the dyno and get some power put into it so we can go to Wednesday and bang some gears. But Neo, are you attending LMR Cruise? No, that's not something I'm interested in driving, you know, so many hours for. If I'm going to do a, you know, again, guys, we use, you know, the stuff that we monetize here on our YouTube channel. We basically use that money to travel to all these events. And to be honest with you, like NMRA Bowling Green cost me like $2,000 and 1,500, $2,000. And every time I go to an event, that's pretty much it. And the further you go, the more it costs. So that's kind of what's nice about the channel, is it allows me to at least get, you know, some of that taking care of it, you know, and I'd love to go to all these events. I missed Foxtoberfest. I had to choose between going to this, you know, my sponsor Tremix NMRA event, or go to Foxtoberfest. I couldn't go to both. We coach here, or we do, you know, do a little bit of football with our kid, and, you know, I had to make a decision. So anyone got an idea what kind of power I'm making? 306 FCAM AFR 185, 70 millimeter, 20 pounds of boost, CSU carb, 80 degrees of timing, 18 degrees of timing. 70 millimeter, you're probably stuck at about 490. Even at 20 pounds, maybe 520. I think right around about 16, 17 pounds, my 70 wasn't really giving it much more power. 1/8 mile preferred by me, easier. Hell yeah, man. Dan, you still running the TKX? We are. We're actually considering putting the TKX in the white car if it goes 890s. You're better off with a 351 block anyway. Gabe's got some badass setup on his coupe, bro. He's got some old school trick flows. Be gapping fools with that shit. It's funny. Should I sell my 325 crank in DOA 363, or keep it, or do a short stroke? Man, you should never sell that stuff, Dan. You just put that shit in the corner for sure. I do want to make a special mention tonight to Jesse Costa, man. I appreciate you joining the channel, man. You know you don't have to do that. Jesse Costa is one of my oldest friends, stick shift guys. He ran at Ford Takeover last year. He's got a nasty little black coupe, little 363 stick shift car. So much appreciated, Jesse. Thank you so much for hooking it up, bro. Appreciate you. So, you know, again, you know, the 363 versus the 408, we're going to find out. You know, I would have really liked to seen the 408 run on a bigger turbo. I think it would have just flew. But that would have required me cutting this, you know, this turbo up and making it fit. What's up, Smurf? It's good to see you. Sandy and Paul in the house. I want to appreciate you guys for stopping in. I love y'all. My fam, bro. My fam. So I'll take a couple more questions here for another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and get out. So, guys, I mean, here on the channel, we're always focusing on getting your shit off the jack stands, and, you know, the first, you know, doing a major project in a fox body, the first thing you got to do is, you know, is just get out there into the garage and get it done. You know, you just get started on it. You know, make a plan, write it down. You know, I'm always trying to motivate you guys to be better, you know, not only in your personal lives, but, you know, with your fox bodies, you know what I mean? And it's just, you know, time, money, and, you know, family. You're always trying to sacrifice all three of them. It's tough to do that sometimes. I understand that full force. I'm always trying to manage time, money, and family, and I'm always failing at it. So don't feel like you're the only one that does that. You know, but we're out here in the garage today. I 100% did not want to be in the garage today. I wanted to just take a day off and just relax. But considering it's the end of the season here in Ohio, tracks are shutting down this week. There is a couple tracks that stay open an extra week or so, but it's pretty much it till April. Unfortunately, that's the way we got to deal with here in the North. And I'm trying to squeeze in a little bit of interest with what we're doing right now with our turbo car. I've always wanted to know, would the 363 be successful in this car like it was 5 years ago? We figured that out. We fucked around and we found that out. Excuse my French, but whatever. And we had the little baby turbo on there like we did 5 years ago. It's not really a baby turbo, but it's just not efficient anymore. So we're going to put a better, we're going to put a better turbo on this week, which we did. And we're going to find out, man. We're going to find out if that car can mile an hour. We're going to go out the back door and we're going to see if we can find our time that we wanted to do. So I hope some of the things here I bring to the channel keep you guys motivated to be, wrenching on your shit and getting it shook down. It's always something I'm always preaching to get your shit off the jack stands, and it all starts with you making a plan, writing it down, and executing it. And, planning phase is always the easiest part. It's the execution that's the hardest. So I'm hoping to say keep up with the good work. Hopefully I will see you at the track next year. Hell yeah, Rob. Big shout to you, Rob. Big Rob Mish. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you for this for tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight on the channel. Congratulations to Gabe Large for the Stiflers banner. Hit me up on that email, Gabe, or hit me up on Messenger and Facebook, because I know you're pretty active over there on Facebook as well. Just give me your address so I can ship this out tomorrow with Sean. I forgot Sean Inman's banner from last week. And if Shelby County is listening to this afterwards or whatever, or Matt Bishop, let him know that his banner, I forwarded the email, his banner should be in the mail too from Handler Motorsports, but guys. But anyways, I would, Ricky, to answer your question of the 20 pounds of boost, I definitely on that motor would be at least a 70 is okay with a 306, but I think running at 20 pounds, I think a 76 would be in your future, brother. So, hell yeah. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for stopping in tonight. Again, we got a couple videos we're going to be shooting this week, so stay tuned for those. We're going to do an update on Lamar's engine because his engine's getting built before my 408 gets fixed. So we got to get that one out first, and then we're going to get the 408. So, and you guys know I want to get that shit done as soon as possible. But I appreciate everybody for stopping in. We'll see you soon this week in the next videos. Thanks for watching.